What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we back with another video. Road to 1,000 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Knicks taking Game 1 of the NBA Finals. In a game where it looked like the Spurs had a little bit momentum and a back and forth game in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson completely walked down the San Antonio Spurs in the fourth quarter, which we are accustomed to seeing him do. And yes, he ended up with 31 shots, but he had 30 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns set the tone offensively and defensively. He held Wemby to 1 of 8 from shooting. He also had 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. And the Knicks have won 12 games in a row after obviously being on this long break and then coming into Game 1 with the intensity, with obviously them being down 14, them making a run in the third quarter, fourth quarter it being in tie game, and then obviously you giving up a 7-0 run and then getting momentum back to you after Jalen Brunson hits completely tough buckets. And now you go into Game 2 basically with it's not a must-win scenario, but you have successfully stole home court away from the San Antonio Spurs. So if you're a Knicks fan, you have to be happy about that, even if you lose Game 2. And now you can get greedy and want Game 2. And obviously, the San Antonio Spurs did not play good basketball by any means tonight. Wemby had an automatic stinker, 26 points, 12 rebounds. Julian Champagnie, 16 points, 10 rebounds. All of his 16 basically came in the first half. None of his points came in the second half. Dylan Harper, 16 points, 8 rebounds. It really looked like they shut him off in the second half. He wasn't getting the ball anymore. He was benched in the fourth quarter for De'Aaron Fox, who obviously has been stinking up basically these whole playoffs, with De'Aaron only having 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, 3 of 13 from the field. And honestly, I'm done making excuses for De'Aaron, because I made excuses during the Trailblazers series. He wasn't really existent. I made excuses versus the Timberwolves series before his even injury. He wasn't existent there. He didn't exist in the Thunder series, even though his playmaking was obviously visible. And now in Game 1, he could bounce back from this, and I would say that I was wrong about him, but we have to talk about how inconsistent he's actually been and how consistent their rookie off the bench has been, and he was honestly benched for him. And I know the conversations around the next couple days until Game 2 will be, should Dylan Harper be getting De'Aaron Fox's minutes? And we know the Spurs are never going to do that. I think we can make that a conversation, but it won't happen. But De'Aaron needs to be better if the Spurs want to have a chance to win against this Knicks team. And we obviously are underrating them, me included. We have to talk about how good they have been on the defensive end. Obviously on offense, we know, obviously after watching the last couple series, but on the defensive end, it really looked like they matched the physicality and the intensity that the old Western Conference teams were showing. Because I feel like when we talk about the East, we talk about how weak they actually are, and when we talk about the Knicks, it feels like a lot of people weren't giving them their credit. We were just assuming, yeah, you're supposed to get out the Eastern Conference, and now we're supposed to see what you're going to do. And I know it's only Game 1, but this was a hell of a Game 1 to show and prove to the world that this wasn't no fluke run. We are here and we are going to win this shit, and that's exactly what the New York Knicks showed. And with Game 2, I fully expect the San Antonio Spurs to potentially blow them out, but that wouldn't even matter because you already stole Game 1. And obviously going back to the Garden where you have full home court advantage, it's not like obviously San Antonio where there's going to be Spurs or Knicks fans there, because I heard the Knicks crowd from the opening tip, like, they were lit in San Antonio, like, don't get me wrong. And obviously, it was a few moments during this game where you can place the blame on Victor Wembanyama. And we know Wemby has to be better, because all of the greats that we've seen in the finals, after games, we have grown to accustomed to seeing them slandered. Now, Wemby has to respond in Game 2, because obviously they're going to be talking about his crying after the Western Conference Finals. And if you go down 2-0 to the New York Knicks at this situation, at this certain point in time, the way the Knicks are playing, you're in a situation situation which you don't want to be in, and you are in potential risk of getting swept. And I don't think this is going to be a sweep series, because I do see this series going 6 or 7 games, and I hope this series is exciting, because after game 1 I do see obviously an intensity where I feel like any of these two teams can win. It's not as lopsided as I possibly thought after last video, or even as many or people that you're watching make these finals predictions are trying to make it seem. The Knicks actually do have a chance to win this series, and you can't really ignore that. Like OG Anunoby, he had a few tough buckets. I didn't even feel like he played good tonight, but he had a couple clutch buckets in the fourth quarter over Victor Wembanyama, over jab step threes. He had 17 points, 3 rebounds. Landry Shamet, 13 points, being consistent, which you're going to need, obviously, coming off the bench. Jose Alvarado had an impact in this game. I tried to ignore his impact last video. Clearly, he proved me wrong. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds. Brunson got hurt in a portion of this game, and Jose Alvarado had to step up to the plate and play those point guard minutes, and he stepped up. And now we have to see how the San Antonio Spurs will respond after being down 1-0. And we've seen them in this situation when they went against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I would guess that the San Antonio Spurs wouldn't be too worried about that, because they know they didn't play good basketball, whether it was on the offensive end, and their defense obviously felt some flaws because they let Brunson play one-on-one a lot, and you just can't let that happen. You have to blitz him like he's Anthony Edwards, like he's Shea, because I do feel like he is more of a threat in that mid-range area than both of those two guys. So when Brunson gets to his spots, he's used to shooting over players, because he's seen a lot of taller defenders on him. So you're going to obviously see him exploit those mismatches a lot. Like, I felt, example I'm about to tell y'all, is when Carter Bryant checked in for those 4 minutes. I felt like every minute that Carter Bryant was in the game, Jalen Brunson was giving him a bucket for every minute. That's how I felt. He was giving him 3 buckets per minute. That's how Jalen Brunson was playing, because Carter Bryant is an aggressive defender. He was getting them off his spots, and then obviously Brunson used his counters, and he obviously got to his spots, and he got the bucket. Obviously, a tip-in shot went in, and this wasn't even a good Brunson game either, because Brunson went down like 3 times. He wasn't getting foul calls. He only had 4 free throws tonight, in which I feel like Brunson is usually a notorious foul baiter who gets the calls, but it seemed like Brunson did not get the calls tonight, and the refs weren't giving it to him, so he had to earn his points, and he shot 31 times, so he definitely did earn his bucket. So now we look at game 2, and we look at that as a must-win for the San Antonio Spurs, because you do not want to go down 2-0 to the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden, where they will be rocking. And now you have to potentially see, with Wemby, have a legacy game, which you don't want to put that much pressure on him in game 3. So hopefully you go back and regroup after game 2 and possibly tie this series up 1-up. But if you're a Knicks fan, you have to be ecstatic, because this was the perfect game you would want to see out of the Knicks in game 1, and how you really steal a road win and steal home court advantage, because that's exactly what you want to see if you're a Knicks fan, and obviously if you're the New York Knicks playing this San Antonio Spurs team, which you exploited their mismatches, you exploited their 7-footer, and Cat needs to be as determined as he was tonight, and Brunson has to be continued to be good in the fourth quarter, because when it gets to the fourth quarter closing time, I trust Jalen Brunson more than I trust Victor Wembanyama. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about game 1, and who do y'all have in game 2? Subscribe. At the end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and my last video is on your screen, and the channel icon's on your screen too, so click one of them if you want to continue watching my videos. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. It helps the algorithm push me out, and I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.